September 26th. If we have anything we need to vote on, we will postpone that, hoping someone else will show up. So far, we do not have a plan. Let's see, we have minutes, we will hold off on those. We'll hold off on treasurer's report. Andrew, would you like to give a director's report?
All right, yeah. Well,
A lot going on.
There's been a lot that's happened over the last month. Still more to come. This weekend was absolutely phenomenal for the community.
Oh my gosh.
The amount of people that were in the community, that were on Main Street, it really gave Madison a time to shine. And I'm seeing up close and personal the amount of hours that are put in by volunteers. The Chautauqua committee was here until like 9 o'clock last night. We were carrying picnic tables in and storing them, and I mean they just worked really, really hard. And just want to thank their whole committee, all the volunteers. Lucy, I don't know how many of you know all the hours that she has put in.
It's been fun.
For Chautauqua.
It's been hard, but it's been fun.
Yeah, she deserves so much of the credit for making sure everything went off without a hitch, and holding up our end of the bargain on what we need to get done to help them out. So we've been trying to attend a number of other events, not just our own events that are within Visit Madison's portfolio, but we made it out to the Canaan Fall Festival, Chelsea Jubilee in Mel's Grove. Lucy and Sarah both attended those. And the rodeo, Lucy made it and I made it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun as well.
Wasn't that something? They put on, they have their different events, but in between, they have a ton of activity and just great entertainment.
It's entertainment, yeah.
And I looked around at the crowd of people that were there, and they were so happy to have that event in this community. I couldn't believe it. And there were people there I didn't expect to be there.
Yeah.
And then there were some people I've never seen before, and I was like, wow. And they loved it, and their whole families were there. I think they ran out of seating. I think it was standing room only.
Yeah. They could have sold more tickets. When I got there Friday night, I was there a little bit late, and we pulled in to the lot, and they said, "Now, did you pre-buy tickets?" And I said, "Yeah, I pre-bought tickets." They said, "Okay, well, you can come in," but they said, "We aren't selling any more because we can't." So that's a great.
They reached capacity.
That's a great thing. I think it's a great thing to build on for next year. And so I'll be reaching out, working with Taylor and Ellie to see what more we can do to assist from our end of things as they get ready for next year, which won't be on Chautauqua weekend next year.
That's really great.
That's good too. A lot of my time last month, since the last meeting, has been trying to do some little changes here in the visitor center. I know that was something that I had mentioned I wanted to try to do. We put up a map of downtown, and so that was Sarah and Heights Sign Company got that up. That was a nice addition. Added some gift shop items. We bought some, and then we have some on consignment from some local businesses, trying to help them out, but also it helps us as well to keep the shelves stocked. And that's part of the pilot program. We're going to go through the end of the year, see how that goes, and then we may decide to keep it going, we may change it, we may end it, something like that. But that's where we're at. Put up the Chautauqua posters here to make sure there's just a good atmosphere, move some stuff around, and we have the movie Madison playing on repeat. And so those are just some of the little atmosphere type things that I wanted to make some changes for. And I think we saw some of the benefit of being open over the weekend. We had almost 1,300 people come through this building on Saturday, and we had about 1,000 on Sunday.
And traditionally we're closed, so
Yes.
we should see that number creep up year after year.
Yeah, I mean this is the second year that we've been open for a number of times. Yeah, with the bathrooms.
With the bathrooms, we've been open
Yes.
because Lanier is here. And
Yes, of course. Yeah, thank you for clarifying. Yeah, we've been open, but the bathrooms, we had the bathrooms open for the public, and so most of those people were coming in to go to the bathroom, but we also had a lot of sales from the gift shop. Tiffany got a quick recap from the state on our stuff that we sold. And we had on Saturday almost $500 in sales in the gift shop. And then on Sunday, just over $350. For comparison, last year, we had $80 on Saturday and $27 on Sunday. So just the people coming through, being able to come through here. And that's Chautauqua merchandise, that's some of the stuff we bought ourselves, and some of that is the consigned goods. So people are coming in, they're seeing what we have to offer. We heard a lot of compliments, and so overall I think it was good. I'm sure there's some hurdles that we may want to think through for next year and make some changes, but overall I thought it was very good. So
It's a good revenue generator to help us build up so we can do more in the community.
yeah, it's a good revenue builder, but it's also helping build goodwill, a good visitor experience for people. They get a chance to talk to our team here. We had 2 people here at all times, sometimes 3 if I was here and not running around. And so we had a chance to have those conversations about Madison, people
Yeah, that's
asking
nice.
about restaurants and all that. So it was great, and I'm encouraged by it, that we're all kind of tired. So you have my report there. That's the majority of it. But if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you very much. Let's go back to our minutes. We have the minutes from August 29th, our last meeting, and I will entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Nancy. Do I have a second?
A second.
Gary? Thank you. All in favor? Any discussion? I always forget. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer's report, Hannah's not able to be here today, so Tiffany is going to give that report for her.
Yes, the Visit Madison checking, we have $96,558.96. The savings account, $41,024.36. We have 2 CDs, one of those is $6,544.89, maturing on January 27th of 2023. And then another CD of $6,562.41, maturing this December 5th, 2022. For a total of $150,690.62.
Any questions about the treasurer's report?
I would add just a comment in that. I want to talk through some of the CDs and things with our finance committee. I think we mentioned that before, but Tiffany and I had a really good meeting with German American Bank, talking through some potential options and financial security for the organization overall, but also trying to make sure that we're doing the right thing with our money and doing what's most beneficial. So hopefully we'll have something to take to the finance committee over the coming month.
Good, thank you. Anyone else have anything?
Can we get a ledger over the last however many months for Riverfest expenditures? I'm looking at my CD amount there. We were at 250. Looks like CDs are now at,
But some of that, I think, I could go get one, but I know she took some of the
Yeah.
savings.
who did?
Here,
So we can.
because our savings was more than that, the 3,000.
Yeah, savings, yeah, okay. Because we had 250, we went down to 211. Now including checking and anything, we're at 204. I just like to see where all
Okay.
that, I mean, that CD money should not be going down
No, the CDs.
at all.
should-
but
right.
It
Unless it's
doesn't look
video.
like it's,
Well, what we can do, we'll have Aaron send that information, we record that in the minutes?
Yes.
And we'll send that out to the entire board so everyone will have that information.
we did go down last
Review
year,
it.
or over the last 2 years because of
Yeah,
COVID, because we
sure.
paid our bills
Yep.
for Riverfest,
Yep,
but that should have been done a year ago.
okay. Well, we'll take a look at that, send that information out to everybody, and let's get with the finance committee and we'll review those numbers, make sure they're good.
Thank
Maybe
you.
I.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that Erin could join us today and kind of give a full Riverfest recap, but then she was out for a couple weeks for various reasons. So we don't have the final numbers, and I figure,
I talked to her, she
Yeah.
doesn't have it yet.
I figure until we have that final
Yeah.
information, it's not gonna be that helpful for her to report. So hopefully then at the October meeting, we'll.
Someone I said took some of the savings and went into checking, and it wasn't like, yeah.
So we'll,
But we can give a full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get that to you.
and we'll probably have a full report in the end of October. So there's a lot of work to go on in October by both Chautauqua and Riverfest
Yes.
to provide a lot of data to this board so we know what's going on. So, yeah, we'll get that together. Thanks, Jeff, for pointing that out. Do we have a motion to approve, anything else from Treasurer's report? I will entertain a motion to approve that report.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Carrie. Do I have a second? Thanks, Jeff. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. Sarah, welcome back.
Thank you.
She's had a little time off, so now she's gonna crank it out, aren't you? Would you like to give a report for us?
Sure. Absolutely. I realize I think I may have missed sending it to everybody unless you,
I
did you
did.
add it? Okay,
Yes, I did.
all right, thank you. Up until I left for vacation, pretty much since the previous couple JCBT meetings, I'd worked hard on a Chautauqua marketing plan. They had gotten approved for some additional funds there, and a part of that was marketing, to which VMI stepped up to facilitate that. So I put the plan together, did the media buys, did the creative, and as of today, I'm following up with all of our digital advertising companies to get all of those statistics so that I can put together a fine report for the Chautauqua folks, but also so that they can extend that to the Jefferson County Board of Tourism. So that's been a big deal, and that kind of was overlapping with everything Riverfest as we were going into that wonderful event. So been busy. So the 2023 experience guide and marketing for Visit Madison, Andrew and I have been talking about how we can kick that up a notch and to engage our tourism partners on another level, keeping the same levels of participation. This is our #1 revenue generator, but how can we make sure that we're being good stewards of that throughout the year, and have some other ideas to engage some partners and get them to sign up and all of that. So plan to share all of that as we make a final plan for everybody to sign up. Also working on the Nights tour, setting the event up in Eventbrite, updating the website, working on promotional materials and creative and that marketing plan. I also finished I'm so close to finishing the Main Street and Hilltop directory maps that are out there for, around town. And got a couple different changes for that, but excited to get that done and off my plate. And they were set up to be evergreen, so kind of QR code based, and they direct them to our website. And anything on there as far as events and anything it's very evergreen. Like Riverfest is the 3rd weekend of August, and so on. So excited to get that done.
Do we have any directories on the hilltop at all?
They're adding some. Tony Steinhardt is adding some for the hilltop. He is also wants to know, he's adding 4 more. So there's a couple of places down here, and then 1 or 2 on the hilltop. That if you guys find that there's a void somewhere, you're like, man, we really could use a directory there. Please let us know, and or let Tony know. He wants to know, because he wants to add them strategically going forward and plan for those and their budget in the next year. So these are the ones they're doing now. So we only have 4 now, and he's adding 4 this year.
Nice.
So exciting to get that out there, and they're getting new. It's special material. There's going to be new plexiglass going in. If you've seen them, they're very yellow and dated, and probably scratched up and everything, so
It's exciting.
exciting for our visitors.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to track those QR codes. They are all special and specific to those posters, so excited about that. I may have mentioned this last time, if not, it was to the JCBT board about potentially going into a 2-year contract with CrowdRiv to avoid an increase. I'm actually asking them for a higher percentage off. Even so, we were facing a 5% increase. They were willing to do the 5% increase with a 2-year contract. I'm asking for more, so we'll see.
Good. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt to ask,
negotiate,
right?
Not at all. So that would tie us into 23 and 24 with CrowdRiv.
Correct. Yeah. And as far as JCBT is concerned, we wouldn't owe it until that year of, the year of the for each year. So, since I've seen you last, I submitted the 2023 full-page ad for the Indiana State Festival Association. So that's a lot. The girls here were helping me track down 2023 dates, which is some of them are automatically, but others are hard. Some events are moving their weekends and things like that. So we were able to lock down what we could, and that also has a special QR code on that. That's kind of going forward without saying that every QR code that I'm doing, I'm trying to track, and if I can, I'm doing it by that specific advertisement. We did get approved from the JCBT board for the 2028, we're working way ahead, 2028 cover for the Indiana State Festival Association guide. That's how far out they are. So we were pre-approved by their board, but they will have an official meeting in November, to which Andrew and I are working on an official letter for that. And it's a commitment of $15,000, and that's not due until fall of 27. So
Have we ever been on the cover?
not of my
Jefferson
knowledge.
County?
I do not think so.
I don't think so either.
It's gonna be a challenge figuring out what to put on there. We have so much going on and so many events and things that we're known for and things that people don't know. So that'll be my challenge, and our challenge is to make sure that the artwork is satisfactory to our own needs, and to make sure that we're representing Madison, Jefferson County on the cover of that. So yeah, I have 5 years to figure it out.
Do we need any other support letters for that?
No. Nope, not on this one. I think
Okay.
it's pretty much in the bag. So yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's just it's a formality.
It's another first, right?
Yeah,
We're
for sure.
experiencing a lot of those the last
and that's
year and a half.
365 Madison right there. I
Right.
mean, yes, it's events, but as we know, events are part of the 365 plan. It's just, this is just the silo of that.
Right.
Social media continues to grow. Website sessions, 31% in August, were 31% over last August, 35% up on new users. So it's just continuing to grow. And as I get back into the swing of things, I plan to delve more into these numbers and make sure that I'm not missing any opportunities. And then, the week before I left, I was asked to speak at the ITA meeting about the award-winning campaigns that we had got acknowledged for this past March. And so, of course, that's so great. Again, another opportunity across the state of the ITA members to bring them in and talk about what our small DMO does with our budget and how we are successful, and then get to see what the big guys do. And then, it's just a really great session, and I was able to talk about that. And it was really great to win that COVID category, because we were the only ones in our, with our budget to win that. So.
And it's good state exposure to.
It absolutely is, yeah. It sure is. So I did that before I left. I worked with the Regatta and the Rooster Tail on an economic impact report for our EIC calculator. I've worked on some other marketing. Our September newsletter, our email marketing is continuing. So what I did was I did what they call an email scrub 2 months ago, and that is going through your emails, and basically your email servers can tell you who hasn't opened your email in years. Because we pay by, the threshold of different emails, So I was able to, like, let's say, purge some emails that the people have never opened up our emails. I'm like, I'm not paying for these anymore. Since then, and I reported in 2 meetings ago, that, our open rate has gone to like 50%. I mean, so it's continuing to be at a high rate. September was 48.4%. The click-through rate was 3.1. The averages are like, between 2 and 3. So exciting stuff about that. The top links on that newsletter were the rodeo, then the Vintage Thunder, the Harvest Festival, then Tri-Kappa, then the air show. So those were the top links, top items that were clicked on. And we continue to do our weekly posts. I'm excited to get back into the product development that we've been working on for several months for the motor trail. I'm hoping to get move the needle on that progress. And then I'm currently reviewing a one-to-one match opportunity with Visit Indiana, and group tour is knocking on the door for 2023. So we've already been committing to some 2023 events. And one of the big shows that we always attended was Heartland, and that's where we go and set up a booth, and tour operators walk around and talk to the different destinations. So this time it's actually going to be in Cincinnati, so it'll be a little closer to our backyard. And then Main Street's in Boston, and that's in April or May, I can't remember. But anyway, lots going on. Oh, one last thing. A couple years ago I did these rack cards, and you know how about 5 years ago QR codes were big, and then they dropped off, and then COVID came and then they came back. So I didn't put a QR code on here, so I got some stickers. And so the girls are helping to provide that, and we're going to start offering what we have in our stock to everybody, and see if this piece is more, advantageous for them to use over the visitor guide or whatnot. Like, for instance, Old Time Marketplace and McWiggins, they put one of our pieces, our experience guide, in every one of their online orders. I know that's awesome and wonderful, and it does cost them obviously a little more, having that ounce or more in the additional into their package. But is it something like this that would be more conducive for them? And so we're going to offer that to them, and as we individually put the sticker back on these. So, anyway.
That's a really exciting thing, because I think there's more businesses that we can partner with there's a lot of businesses here in Madison that ship things out all over the world, their product, whether it's soaps or candles or Royer. I mean, there's companies that ship things all over the world, and they might not want to put one of the visitor guides in there, or it may not even be appropriate to put a visitor guide. But that's an easy thing to put in, and the cost of that is pennies to be able to do, and it might get Madison on people's minds. So, and now we can track it.
Amen.
Thanks, Sarah.
Any questions?
How many of those do you have in supply right now?
16,800, and I ordered 15,000 stickers just because that was a good threshold to get.
That's a lot of sticky.
It is a lot. They're rolls this big, and there's
Can you
like.
send my kids down?
Yeah, can you do that? Yeah. Well, fortunately, they can. Julie can help in between stuff, and the ladies on the weekends want stuff to do when there's some downtime, and I'm pretty sure that they'll help knock those out. Easy to do, and then bundle them back up, and then once we get a good supply of them, we can start hitting the road with hitting those businesses and making sure that our tourism partners are taken care of, and if they're interested in these, and then going to those other corporations. I think it's a great idea.
Do we have it digitally as well to send out to people?
The rack card? Yeah, of course we have digitally, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have.
The one thing that she just read, and this is going back a little bit, and I'm sorry, when she mentioned the weekend help that can help out with some of that, Karen and Faye are fantastic, and they want people to talk to, and and they do a great job of interacting with them. But I meant to say this earlier, on a usual weekend, a big Saturday would be like 120 people through here. And you compare that with us having 1,200 on one day, on Saturday. And I don't know if I drew that comparison earlier in the meeting, but we had 10 times our largest amount of people on a Saturday. We had one Saturday, I think, so far this year that had 220 people in here. But otherwise, the largest is like 120. That's huge. And so I think everybody enjoyed having a little bit more activity and buzz. Karen and Faye do a great job, and so they enjoyed that. But some of the weekends are a little bit more slow because we have 60 people through on a Saturday, and so they can help with some of this. So sorry to go back to that, but I just it's good to know that 1,200 number, why that's so unbelievable.
Yeah. Would you like to touch on this morning's meeting while it's really fresh, or would you like that next month's report?
Yeah, there's a little bit I'd just like to mention on that. We were invited to be a part of a meeting with Elaine Beadle, who is the CEO of the Destination Development Corporation for the state. If you don't know what that is, it's not surprising. It used to be the old Office of Tourism Development, but a couple of years ago they rebranded it to Destination Development, because it's not just about tourism, it's about attracting people to live, work, and play here. And
which is really Visit Indiana.
Yes, so
you would recognize it by Visit Indiana.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. So you'd recognize it as Visit Indiana. And she brought some really good ideas and thought processes for us to think about how we're doing things here, but then also shared what the state is doing and where they want to go and hopefully where they can get as far as a budget for the state. We are, as a state, vastly outspent as far as our marketing of our state as a whole. And so she's hoping to...
All of our neighbors spend like 10 times as much.
Yes. It's really unbelievable. And so she's working to try and get that increased and hoping that we can help. Share that with our legislators when we talk to them. So please be sure to share that. I'll be happy to share some other information about that. But it's really important for tourism, for our state as a whole, that we have a state that's working to market us as well as our own marketing. And to that end, I should put a pump up for the state. We are partnering with them. There's some videographers that will be here tomorrow and Wednesday, and that's being paid for by the state, and we're partnering with them to show them around and give them some sites that they want to see, and then once that footage comes in, we will be able to use that, and the state can also use that. So it's a good partnership, but think about if that's what we're doing, a little thing like that, if we had 10 times the amount of money in the state budget for tourism, what more we could do. So I keep getting us off on rabbit trails. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No, it's fine. Good.
Making
I
connections.
thought we had a really great meeting this morning. There were several tourism partners there. Main Street was represented, Cornerstone, HMI. There was
The music movement,
Art Alliance.
the Board of Tourism.
Board of Tourism had three members there, 2 city council people talking tourism. And it's really great to have that economic development support that Tony's office provides through the city to help us, and have the Board of Tourism people there as well. It was a really good meeting, so it was nice to see. So, okay, anything else? What's
The
that?
target areas that you need for the video.
We gave a number of properties, especially, they had some that the state itself had identified as they wanted footage of, and then we supplemented that with some major stores and restaurants, and of course like the Cotton Mill, Fairfield Inn, some of those as well, and our historic sites. So we put a few things in there. They said we can't guarantee we'll get to all of those, but we threw a number of them in. they aren't going inside anywhere to film, it's all exterior. So it shouldn't be too disruptive to anybody, but we've got a number of places on Main Street. They want to catch the Main Street vibe is what they
Are they in a golf cart?
They will be in a golf cart, yes.
I think I
Yeah.
saw them today out.
Well,
No, we have another trail runner.
There's
Did she
somebody
get one?
else, there's a guy with a blazer on and a hat, and a girl that's videotaping as they ride around on a golf cart.
Well, I think,
I saw them all weekend.
really,
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know who they are.
You sure that wasn't Bill Jones? Because we hired him for Chautauqua.
I have no idea, but they're riding around taping.
and they actually, these ones
Should
from the
ask.
state are going to be at Clifty, I think, all day tomorrow. As long as the weather looks good, but I think they plan to be at Clifty all day tomorrow. So
They come back October 20th for a photo. So this is just video, and then yeah. So the state they hired a new agency called We Create is their name, and so yeah, they got them working.
yes.
They got them working.
It's exciting for me to see. I'm sure Sarah's excited about it too, using that footage, because when we get to trying to promote Chautauqua or Riverfest or something, and we don't have the high quality footage that maybe we'd want to have in a digital ad or something like that.
Mhm.
Then we'll have that. So
Yeah. All right then, move on. Old business, 2022 BMI bylaw changes. Our subcommittee met, we had a great workshop time, really got through the bylaws fairly quickly, spent some time on them. Now, do we have to wait 3 weeks? Is that the change, or is?
in the bylaws, it says that we have to provide notice to the board of any proposed changes
Okay.
at least 3 weeks before
So we
voting.
will wait till our October meeting to approve those changes. So be sure you read over them and make sure you agree with the changes. Tiffany, you sent that out, didn't you? And all the changes are highlighted in yellow, so everything else outside of that remains the same. So just take a look at that document and be prepared to vote on it at the next meeting.
And if you have questions about
Yeah.
why things were changed or, the proposed changes, the committee worked long and hard on it and I think came to a lot of it was just some very small tweaks to
Mhm.
make things more clear for the future, but
And more up to date and more current. The
like the
telegrams?
telegram, there was something still in there
Telegrams
that
don't exist
the
anymore.
notice,
I think we can safely take that out of there.
notice of a meeting might be provided by telegram. So we did toy with putting in carrier pigeon in its place, but
We decided we're going to move forward instead of backward. So take a look at those changes and do reach out to anybody if you have any questions. Under new business, the 2023 budget and contract, the budget committee has met twice. I'm going to schedule another meeting with them. We've had great conversations, been very, very productive. It has led into strategy and how we do things and who do we need as employees and really this forward-thinking attitude. And so those meetings have been very, very good. Trying to get those numbers as tight and as best as we can, but also be realistic, that we aren't going to grow if we don't have a realistic budget. So we want to be conservative and thoughtful, but also at the same time be aware that if we're going to move forward as an organization, we're going to have to be able to spend some money where it's most needed. So we just have had some really great work, and I look forward to sharing that with you. We have a goal. We've talked about this. I talked to Sarah about it as well, about having a budget that can be given to you in October. Be able to approve that at some point. If we need to hold off and wait a little while, if people need more time, we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll be able to approve, send it on to Board of Tourism, and hopefully they can make a decision by the end of the year, instead of waiting until the first of the year and then submitting. I think that time frame is going to work out better, don't you, Andrew?
I think so.
It's going to give us time to get it done and do it right, and then be able to hand it off to them for their review so it can be done well. So
I think a huge reason also to get it earlier is because you have member changes with the new year. So the board, the current board is all refreshed on what's going on. But if you have it in January, like has happened, it's like, I don't know what we're doing, what is, you know,
Right.
and if there's a lot of changes, then you have to update all of the people that are new and get them on board, and they're doing the single most important thing of the whole year for BMI is approving a budget, but they may have not been on the board. So the getting it early, I think, is a huge benefit
Yeah.
for us and for them, because then they're already familiar with what is going on.
Right. And realizing too that the BMI budget, I mean, we're the leaders of the tourism industry and we represent all of the tourism partners. So we have to have all our ducks in a row and be able to be approved and have financing. So getting that done early is going to be crucial because those board members are more familiar with our work and the work that needs to be done by the community, for the
And
community.
hopefully we can change from, remember we had to change it from March, so they actually, our year, it's not a calendar year, it's March to April.
Which
It's
is
very difficult for our record keeping, and if we get, that's the other reason to get it in and be finished.
improve accounting practices that are more traditional and go to a calendar year that makes sense.
Yes,
And-
that way we're not going, oh, we got to back out 4 months, and that's, we already gave you money for that. No, we didn't, well, you know, so
Right.
it'll just, I think simplistic wise will be way more beneficial.
It'll improve the quality of life for our office managers, right? So, okay, so be looking for that. We'll get that to you as quick as we can, but we need at least one more meeting to be able to work out details. So the employee policy and procedure manual, I was really ambitious, thinking that all these subcommittees were going to be able to work and Chautauqua would happen and rodeo would happen and the air show and all of this stuff. So we're putting that a little bit on the back burner, address the budget first, and then we'll move into policy and procedure. We did make a little progress on it.
We did,
The
yeah.
subcommittee met and we started on it. So we realized the importance of that, and hopefully we'll do such a good job. The review of it will be easy, annual review, and we won't have to make changes every year. But get that document more current and up to date. So, moving on, we have event reports, but we don't have any way to really report them. We can report on Chautauqua a little bit. It went really, really well. Probably record crowds. Some people were saying we haven't seen anything like this in 10 years. Their artist attendance was up about 20%. They had 25 food booths and they still stayed packed and ran out of food on Saturday, and people were running out trying to get more food to be able to meet Sunday's demand. So it was a crazy day, a crazy weekend for that.
The lines for food were still, I mean, they weren't outrageously long, but they were still long.
Yeah,
And that's, with all those food vendors, it's amazing.
it's a good problem for, for them to try to meet those needs, and so the committee did a great job. There's about 12 to 14 core people that probably worked up from sun up till sundown. We were down there by 6 o'clock in the morning and leaving like 8 and 9 o'clock at night. So, and tons of people helped, and thank you to those who could help, and those who couldn't, we'll get you for something else. I promise. But you want to say anything about how Chautauqua went?
It was just a great weekend. I couldn't even get to everything. I didn't make it to the full court days and up to the farmer's market like I normally do. But it was the feel in town, the amount of people, the park. You can always kind of tell by the parking situation. And the parking situation was really packed. And so, especially Saturday,
Yeah.
was a really good day. We will need to kind of wait a few days here to wait to find out little bit more about hopefully using the new system Placer that the state, or that the city and Board of Tourism and everybody has gone in on, to kind of look at how many people were here from out of town and kind of dig into that data. And then, of course, the hotel information we'll need to find out at the end of the month. Hopefully we'll have that here in October. I'm still getting used to when.
We get them weekly on weekly occupancy, but then we did a multi-segment one, which is at like the second weekend of the month after. But
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have, even within a few weeks, we should know a little bit more about the true economic impact of that event. But what it feels like, and you can't always go with what it feels like, but it felt like it was a great weekend.
I
Yeah.
saw a couple business owners post on Facebook that they have record sales this week.
we passed by James Dell, and they said that this was the most, was it the most they've ever made?
Mhm.
And how much over last year?
I thought that he said double. Did he say double of last year?
And last year was like,
And last year was a
crazy.
great year as well.
so as far as the crowd, was it much more than last year?
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. And
Crazy
Lampier
beautiful.
Winery had their
I guess the
harvest
marketing works.
celebration, and it looked like it did fantastic.
Yeah.
It was very, very crowded, very well done,
Yeah.
lots going on.
And the thing that just amazes, it amazes me, and yet I know it's different crowds, but the air show had an unbelievable crowd as well. And the rodeo, I realized the rodeo was in the evening, but all of those events over this weekend had what appeared to be record crowds, which is just really amazing for a city of 12,000, a county of 30,000 to be able to sustain the kind of weekend that we had.
Right.
Hopefully there were a lot of visitors in the park as well.
Yeah, I was wondering how the park was doing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, you can tell, we get a lot of the crowd that comes in, but you can tell when there's a lot going on in Madison because the park actually gets kind of quiet because everyone goes out. And then they come back to go to bed, which makes my job great.
During the day, you get a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, just what a weekend.
It
And
was
I
wonderful.
just can't express enough how much we owe to the volunteers that make all of this possible. I mean, you look at the rodeo, the number of volunteers there, the air show, Old Court Days, the amount, Chautauqua, all of the volunteers that power those events.
Right.
I mean, what a testament to our community and the strength of our community.
I agree. Anybody want to talk about Riverfest? Erin couldn't be here, so she'll report in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll report.
I was there and it was wonderful.
It was wonderful, wasn't it, Bridget?
We sent out a survey
For Chautauqua?
for Riverfest.
Yeah.
And it was to all the people that bought tickets on Eventbrite, so there was 940 emails. And we actually got about 25% back, which is a really big deal. And we keep getting little stragglers coming in here and there, but we had 227 responses and really great feedback, and thankful for them to stick with the survey and answer all the questions. I've passed that on to Aaron and to Andrew, and there was quite a bit of new people that have never been to Riverfest, new people that have never even been to Madison. So it's really great data that hopefully we can compile and have ready for when Erin does her final recap. We can have that go with it.
I want to get that to all of you so you can see the results, but I don't want to get it out there until we have a chance to digest it and process it. And also make sure that the Riverfest committee sees it as well. So, but it's good, very good, helpful information. We tried to do the same type of thing for Chautauqua, but of course without tickets, it's a little bit harder to do that. So I went around and put up signs that said, help us take a survey, you could win a Madison prize pack. And we had
29.
29, so that was not quite as good, but in that case, it's not necessarily the quantitative data that will matter in that, but it's more the qualitative. It's the individual responses that people give that can give us ideas and things from that. It won't mean as much quantitatively, but I think there's still some good information we gleaned from it.
Samantha Fish was on the cover of Rolling Stone 2 weeks after here.
No
Oh, wow.
kidding.
That's awesome. She was
Do
amazing.
you know, when I picked her up in the morning at 7 o'clock, after we'd all been out till 1 in the morning, or however late, we were transporting them at night, and then
But you didn't have
picked
to do
them up.
that, you volunteered.
I know, I'm not complaining. No, what I'm.
Yeah, I picked her up.
No, I have a
Picked her
point.
up.
I have
There's
a
a lot of
point.
us would have gone and picked her up.
I have a point, this isn't about me. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning, she hops in that van and she starts like working on music, working on sets, talking about it at 7 a.m. It was wow, she
She's
was unbelievable.
And to get out
To,
done,
yeah,
that's even more unbelievable.
and
That
she
was
was on Rolling
crazy.
Stones.
That like 2
2
weeks
weeks
after it
after.
came out.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then it's her blown up on it, just, she's got her
She-
head down just like she did here,
Yeah,
burning it up.
yeah,
I
And she's
felt
only-
it, I felt it vibrating off the computer.
she's only like 34 years
How about
old
that?
and she's
Yeah.
been doing this for 20 years. This is-
She's had 5 number ones. So think of that.
And our committee found her and brought her here. It's pretty amazing. It's good
She said
stuff.
she'd come back anytime.
For a
Did
$35
she say she-
wristband,
Oh, yeah,
by
that's
the
what she
way.
told-
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
When I saw people complaining about that, I was like, I looked at Trombone Shorty after that, and I was like, oh my God, he like is more than that, just for
It's
just,
a kind
he
of
was
a way-
amazing.
Yeah, for
That's-
all of these
Yeah, we've
people.
never had anything
I think-
like that
Yeah.
Yeah.
come here before. It's always just about the music. That was about the show.
Yeah,
They never stopped.
Yeah,
They never
It didn't slow
stopped.
down.
they were great.
it was great.
But I think your point, just to make sure to reiterate it, all for $35.
At the gate, 45. I
What-
mean,
What
for,
a,
you
what
cannot
an
go
amazing
to a show anywhere for one person, nowhere, for $45.
They're all double.
Yeah.
To see him, that one guy that was down here, they played the night before, or the weekend before at, in Indianapolis. It was $75 a ticket. And that was one of our sub vendors.
Yeah.
yeah, and Trombone Shorty is coming up or was in Carmel just
Back
coming
at it,
up?
or whatever,
at
Whatever it's
up at
named
the
now.
Palladium,
Yeah.
and I mean, the tickets on that,
they're like $110 in there because there's
Yeah.
such a small venue.
Yeah, you was
Yeah.
in Lexington, it was $75 to $125 just for a basic ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
and what we got in this survey was people said they received great value for the price that they
It's
paid.
nice.
and you don't have to pay to park.
Yeah,
You don't have to pay for
it's all those
facility.
other things too.
Right.
Well, even like Chautauqua doesn't have an entry fee. When you go to other locations to even art festivals, you pay an entrance fee.
Shell charge to get into their fair.
So, just from the sheer fact alone for us, even though it's free to have that number, so you could do the numbers, but I think for Chautauqua, if we could obtain, because I talked to the vendors coming into the Brown Gym, that was fun. And how are your sales going? How's it going? You know, and the weather was great in the afternoon, so they're like, every one of them was like, it's great, the sales are great, we're so happy, this is our first time here, I can't believe we haven't been here, and you know, the people are so nice, and they even thanked us for being there, that, wow, y'all got it going on here. So it was, I think even though we didn't get the 29 responses from visitors, what if we surveyed our vendors?
They
Did
are.
they survey the vendors?
They do every year.
Okay, good.
We've just never seen the results.
Because that would be helpful.
I don't
because
think,
that's
have we?
It goes to a committee level.
A
Oh,
lot
It
of
goes to a
vendors,
committee level,
but
but I don't, you know, as far as sharing that to where we can use it for marketing, we could probably step up that game and get that, that information going a little further out.
Yeah.
the only complaint that I heard was oh, the wind took our tent away, or the blew our, we can't.
The wind was pretty rough.
Yeah,
It was Sunday.
It felt great.
They were all so
Yeah, unless you had a
It
tent.
felt good.
Very
Can we take credit for the weather, or do we have to give credit to the Chamber of Commerce?
But yeah. That was taking credit this morning.
Yeah, what was that about?
The chamber was taking credit for the good weather over the weekend.
That's right.
They must have ordered that.
I
It was
did,
very
did.
good vibes and very good energy and,
Overall,
it was,
really.
yes.
All right, do we have any public comment or anything else from anyone?
We don't have to dress up for the 31st, do we? The next meeting?
Oh, I'll get to that. So the
Halloween.
next meeting is Monday, October 31st at 4. So costume or not, you know, we can have a contest if you want, but the remainder meetings, we have November 21st due to Thanksgiving. We decided to do it the Monday before instead of the Monday after. That would,
Perfect.
the Monday after would have been the last Friday, or last Monday of the month, so. And then December 19th also, because of the holidays, we are not having it on the last Monday, we're having it on the 19th. So, hope that works out for everybody.
And we'll, at the next meeting, we'll have a lot on the agenda,
Yeah.
a lot to go through. So we'll try to keep things humming along, or if we start seeing that it might take too long, I might ask Lucy if we could move it up
Okay,
before 4 o'clock,
okay,
just to make sure we're all good to be able to get onto the evening festivities, so.
all right.
That
We'll
hurts
take
some
a look.
people.
That's what?
It hurts some people.
Yeah, that could, might be a problem for others too, so.
All right.
Lucy, I have some things from the park.
I would love to hear from you.
Great.
It's been a little bit since I've been here, so I've got a handful of things. We had an assistant manager who joined us in, I think, April. I think I had talked about him the last time I was here. Unfortunately, he accepted a transfer. He unexpectedly got the opportunity to work at the park he is from, Indiana Dunes. So he was thrilled to get to transfer up there, which means I don't have an assistant right now. But we have made a conditional offer. We're hoping to get that person in and on the grounds by November, so that's exciting. We have a friends group that has officially been established. Again, I think this is something I talked about at the last meeting I was at. But our friends group is kind of our core volunteer group for our park system. And they officially got their 501c3.
Nice.
So that was a big celebration for them. And would appreciate any, help you guys can give in spreading the word about that, folks that are interested in volunteering for us. Our friends group is trying to seek out some grant opportunities, and one of the things we discussed was some of that tourism data. I don't know if that's something anyone here has available that's specific for Clifty. If you have any information you could share with me on
Specific
numbers.
to Clifty? No.
Yeah, like revenue generated or, visitation generated from the park.
But, yeah.
It'd be good to know.
We
We
could-
would like to know.
I'd
that,
love to
too.
know that. We could see what we could learn from Placer by putting the geofence around it and seeing, where else they've been and stuff. I don't know
Is
if
there
we can
some
get-
specific dates that you would like us to look at? Or
No,
just
just-
from like a year over year?
Just in general, they're looking at grants and a lot of them are, community focused. And so some of the kickback that I've seen, not just in these, but at other parks too, is they say, well, you're a state park, you're not part of the community. Well, we are. We are part of the community and we draw people to the community. So I said that I would bring that up here and see if there was
Oh,
anything.
yeah. Because when I requested your numbers a few months ago about how many visitors you had, you said, did you not say that it could have been 500,000?
Yeah.
So if there's 500,000 coming to Clifty, I'm comfortable with telling people that there's 500,000 people coming to Madison.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
from
I
a,
see it, one and the same.
do you know what I mean? That's exactly right, because
Yeah.
I had seen your, because that 350 number is long time ago. They were using that in '02. I've seen it.
I was gonna say, we used that 20 years ago.
Yeah, like this, yeah.
The Indiana State Board of Tourism have that data upstate for her?
The
Um,
DNR?
I mean, we have our own data, like 500,000 number?
I can give you Jefferson County numbers,
Okay.
and then you
Anything
see how they
will
work for you.
honestly.
But it's,
Okay.
but it's all tourism based and how much spending our visitors spend when they're here.
Yeah.
And I think you can absolutely use them.
I'm sure we can
grants.
wordsmith.
Oh yeah, the more numbers you have,
Okay, perfect,
Yeah.
thank you.
sure.
And then coming up, we have,
That's 1,400 a day, every single day of the year.
Well, we know that well,
That's a big, big number.
we're dividing that by day.
Well, I'm just saying, you're at that 1,400 people a day.
Yeah, that's not
Every
right.
single day, that can't be. I'm just saying. As soon as you start telling me 500,000, then it's easy math there. I'm just saying. Every day.
so coming up, we have our Clifty Falls of Fear. This is something that you guys are getting ready to see a little more of, hopefully. Again, this is through our Friends group, and it's a haunted house that they're going to be hosting at Clifty Shelter. So there's going to be a $10 admission fee into the haunted house. It's going to be a fundraiser for the Friends group, and it's almost completely volunteer run. So they're very excited. We're expecting to see some pretty big numbers from that. We did one, I think 2 or 3 years ago, that one of the local Boy Scout troops put together, and it was a haunted trail, and we got completely overrun,
I bet.
completely unexpected numbers. So we're really anticipating seeing the traffic from that. And then lastly, we just had our South Region meeting at Clifty on last week, the 21st and 22nd. So that is folks in our South Region of state parks, which is about 12 different properties, property managers and assistant property managers. We get together once a quarter, and this is the first time it's ever been held at Clifty. So that was exciting in itself for us, but one of the things we do with that is we coordinate a little like field trip. And so I brought the folks down. I got in touch with the good people over at Historic Madison, Inc. And we did a tour of the Schrader Saddle Tree Museum and Shrewsbury Window House. And people got to experience downtown Madison. I think the group ended up splitting, and half ate at the tap room and half ate at the Lighthouse. So they all got a little taste of Madison, and I had a lot of good
Nice.
comments that I heard.
That's
People in the
fantastic.
city.
Thanks for doing that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I appreciate that, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
All right
Well,
then.
and if there's going to be any kind of group that's coming like that, let us know, and we'll put together some kind of a, welcome packet or something for them, has a visitor guide and some things like that. I did some for the rodeo this weekend for the participants, and so some of those didn't get distributed, but we're going to get them out post-event.
You can use them somewhere else too.
Yes, there's opportunities, but anytime that you know of a group or an organization, or you bring in a small conference or something, let me know, and that's something we want to try to do to take their experience to the next level. So.
When is the bass tournament?
It's on the 30th,
So same thing for
Yeah.
those guys?
29th and 30th. That would be October, not this weekend.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Carrie.
I was looking
Do I
around,
have a
if anybody else
second?
wanted to leave.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Uh,
Thanks, everybody. I
Thank you.
appreciate it
Thank you.
very much.
This is good.